Someone's whole life, yeah, I'm pro-God and I'm pro-life, and I'm pro-guns, and you know that I am pro-life. I'm pro-life, yeah, I'm pro-life, yeah, I'm pro-life, yeah. Who are you to decide someone's whole life? Yeah, I'm pro-God, pro-guns, and I'm pro-life.
I'm pro-life, pro-life. I'm pro-life. I told you about 1,000,000 times. Why you gotta take those kids? Why you gotta end them before they begin? Don't you know that your little baby has soul? Every abortion is letting them go. Like, there goes my baby. There goes my heart and my soul. There goes the future, we letting you go. We just cannot see the vision. Mama cannot see why you should keep living. She just going through life, perfectly okay with letting you die. She just painting her nails and saying, oh well, if all else fails, we'll send him to hell. Yeah, I know that this sounds very gruesome. Yeah, I know you tear up when we lose them. People are selfish and people are wicked, not understanding the cost of decisions. If you wanna play the most dangerous game, then gamble with your life like binary vision. That's the way of reproduction, now give it a deconstruction. One cell becomes 2, then 4, then 8, and before you know the baby's got a beating heart to break. Then a couple months and now the little baby got a brain. So tell me how that is your body when the baby comes from pain, or tell me how that is your body when the baby's listening. So excited to see the world, just a little baby girl, so let her have your whole life and no one's worth sacrificing.
Yeah, I'm pro-God and I'm pro-life, and I'm pro-guns, and you know that I am pro-life. I'm pro-life, yeah, I'm pro-life.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages from all across the world. My name is Chandler Crump, and welcome back to another episode of the Chandler Brief, your favorite daytime source for news, information, politics, all the things that are happening in the world. Today is October 26th, 2022, and it is 4 p.m. sharp on a nice, beautiful, sunny Wednesday. At least where I am. I don't know. It could be rain, storming. It could be snowing where you are. I know we got people tuning in from all across the world. I know in Australia, you guys are just entering spring, so maybe it's not snowing down there, but I don't know. We've had some viewers in Europe. Maybe we've got some Russian viewers too, enjoying a nice warm, I don't even know what you can describe in Russia as warm, but either way, you guys can be tuning in from all over the world, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in with me right here, live from Atlanta, Georgia, but to wherever you are as well. We've got some major news coming to you guys today that, frankly, I mean, I don't know how I do it. Each and every day, there's always just generally something to just stack up an entire list for. And as you'll be able to see, we've got a whole list going here. But the very first thing, I didn't even want to spoil it. It's a surprise story. I didn't know it was happening this fast, but this is big right here. Elon Musk. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, he's pulling up at the Twitter headquarters, boys and girls. It's over. It's over.
FBI, open up!
We try to keep the Chandler Brief a little bit more serious and highbrow in comparison to Crump Live, but come on. When a story like this comes out, look, this was tweeted only about an hour and a half ago, just a little over an hour and a half ago, 2:45 p.m. even. Interesting, he tweeted it at that exact time. Entering Twitter HQ, dash, let that sink in. Watch this. Come on, guys. Round of applause. Hold on.
What are we talking about?
He walked in. He's looking pretty healthy, in all honesty. Like, when I was younger, I used to, before I when I first learned what even a billionaire was. I just thought having $1,000 was a lot of money. But then I learned what a millionaire is. I was like, okay, yeah, a millionaire, you know, that's a big thing. But I learned what a billionaire is. I was like, that's crazy. So when I think of a billionaire, I think of some real big, fat, tubby, old guy who's all greedy and stuff and not doing anything with the money, but going out on yachts and stuff. Meanwhile, here's Elon Musk, who is he looks pretty healthy, if I'm being honest. You know, he looks like he spends a good amount of time at the gym. He's happy, he's smiling, he looks young. Elon's what, like 40 something? He's not quite up there in age quite yet. He's still expanding his family. He's had babies like in the last couple of years, 2 of them. So he's out there, he's doing the average man life, but he is nowhere near an average man, doing amazing things. He's walking into the Twitter headquarters, a company he just bought, with a sink in hand. I don't know why he has a sink in hand. But people have been going crazy on Twitter with the memes. All the money says Brooks is convicted. Yes, we're going to be talking about that soon. I promised you guys we would update you, and the update came about a lot quicker than I expected. We'll get to that in a minute, but we got to review some of these Elon memes. Just evil. So somebody put Elon Musk on Thanos with the iron gauntlet in the hand. Oh, man. Agar-san says he came to sink Twitter. No, I say he came to throw the kitchen sink at them. That's what he did. He's throwing the kitchen sink at them. Jack Pasovic says, go on Timcast. Oh, I already know what this is. But
You're fired. 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 You're fired.
Oh, you love to see it. I almost feel bad that the Celebrity Apprentice and The Apprentice, that show was like around when I was a lot younger, so I don't really remember it. I have vague memories of watching it maybe with my family like in 2011 or so. I think that was like the last couple of seasons it had, but I didn't really grow up with the show, so I feel like I really missed out on a cultural phenomena, which is why Donald Trump running for president wasn't as foreign of a thought to me as it probably was for many other people. That'd be like, I don't know, Kim Kardashian running for president or something like that. I didn't watch that show, but I guess that's the best way to compare it. But clearly everybody is very fascinated and entertained with this possibility, or should I even say possibility? Well, with whatever's... Oh, no. Wait, what is this? Not Poso. What is this? Oh, gosh. No. Wait. Oh, man. They put Elon on him. Oh, my gosh. Wait, hold on. That's DC Drano. There's Carpe Donktum. There's James O'Keefe. Alex Jones.
Assemble.
Oh, it's too good. Oh, that's good. These things aren't hard to make, you know? You just gotta cut out the face and match it. I mean, it'll take some time, but it's a work of art, truly. I just love whenever people do these types of things. And on top of that, before we move on to the rest of our stories for today, because obviously we're not spending the entire block talking about Elon Musk, but take a look at his Twitter profile. He said his location to Twitter HQ and his bio to Chief Twit. It's over. It's over. To all the people that have spent the last many, many years censoring and snapping people off the platform, it's over. It is time to pay. Oh, there's been so many more memes that I wish I had the time to show you, but truly, shout out to the folks we got watching us over on Rumble as well. Patriot Spread, Shay J in the building, all y'all. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, I encourage you to jump on over and watch us over on Rumble. We've got the chat working, so if you participate in the live chat, I can throw you up on screen. Shout out to all of them. Appreciate y'all. Let me know you hear me. Let me know you see me. All that good stuff. We got to talk about Daryl Brooks, though. One of the most despised people, at least he should be. One of the most despised people in America. Honestly, though, now that I think about it, Kanye West is probably more despised than Daryl Brooks right now. Daryl Brooks murdered 6 people. Cold blood. But Kanye West is the person they want to spend all the time pointing the finger at, saying he's the most dangerous person to our republic. Anyways, let's jump into this. Daryl Brooks has now been convicted of killing 6 with an SUV during the Waukesha Christmas parade. A Wisconsin man accused of fatally plowing his SUV through a crowd at the Waukesha Christmas parade was found guilty Wednesday, capping off a bizarre 3-week trial filled with courtroom outbursts and strange behavior. Daryl Brooks, 40, who represented himself in the case, faces life behind bars after a jury convicted him on 6 counts of intentional homicide and a 2021 rampage that left 6 dead and more than 60 injured. Each homicide count carried a mandatory life sentence. Brooks had initially pleaded not guilty, but then withdrew the plea in October, setting the stage for a trial where his unhinged behavior included incidents where he stripped off his jail-issued shirt, struck a sign down his pants, and claimed he didn't recognize his own name. The jury deliberated a little more than 3 hours before reaching a verdict, after receiving hours of instructions from the judge on Tuesday. A weepy Brooks claimed in his closing argument that the rampage wasn't intentional and blamed a mechanical malfunction, but prosecutors noted the vehicle didn't stop even as cops yelled for him to pull over. Just stop driving, that's it. It's really that simple. Not one person had to be hurt that day if he would have just stopped driving. He plowed through 68 people. 68. How can you hit 1 and keep going? How can you hit 2 and keep going? How can you hit 3? It didn't faze him one bit. He kept going until he got to the end and there were no more bodies to hit. Watch this video of this man finally getting the answer that we all knew settled a long time ago. This is his fate.
Each one into the record. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information, dated this 26th day of October 2022, signed by the foreperson, juror number 11. If you find the defendant guilty of first-degree intentional homicide, answer the following question, yes or no. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 2 of the information. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes.
Burn in hell, you piece of shit.
Hey, you are to be removed right now. You will not do that. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 3 of the information. And I should state as to count 2, it was signed and dated by the foreperson, same as to count 3. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 4 of the information. Dated this 26th day of October 2022, signed by the foreperson. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 5 of the information, dated today's date and signed by the foreperson. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes.
I sometimes wish there could be a round of applause in court because I am so sure that every single person in there would be clapping. Notice not a single person booed when a gentleman said, burn in hell. We'll have you guys hear that again just in case.
Count 2 of the information. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes.
Burn in hell, you piece of shit.
Hey, you are to be removed right now. You will not do that.
And there you go. Not a single person booed or anything like that. You know, in some courts, somebody has an outburst like that. It's kind of going to start a whole hoot and hollering in the courtroom. They're going to be like, oh, how dare you? Or maybe somebody will be like, yeah, that's right, or something like that. Multiple people have to get removed. Not a single person in there said a thing. There you go. There you go. I don't know. All the money says, I'm from Wisconsin. Brooks is a demon. He tried pulling all the maritime blacks law stuff. Nobody here is going to back this dude, not even the blacks I kick it with. Very true. Very true. A Garcon says, that's not a kitchen sink. Well, it's a sink of some sort, okay? So, you know, throw the kitchen sink. Come on. Talking about Elon Musk right there. But I'd say this is a real good story coming out from Wisconsin, Waukesha, all the places that are involved in this. Good. But of course, he's not quite finished yet. He's now working to declare a mistrial because that's what you do when things don't quite go your way, right? Let's hear it.
What's the request, though, that you're making based upon the case law that you cite? I heard in there mistrial, but I want to make sure I understand your request for relief and what it is.
You say request for
relief.
relief.
What are you asking me to do based upon the information that the limited information we have about the Reddit post
Reddit?
in this trial?
I guess my request would be,
This dude is so stupid, man. Why would you even waste time representing yourself? I guess he didn't even want to bother with a public defender or something like that, but
because of the concern of this, to look at a mistrial, or at the very least a discharge of the jury at this time, so this can be resolved. This is alarming, to say the least.
come on.
This post, and I don't.
Okay. So this is interesting. I am a member of the jury on this case. Here are my thoughts. I obviously shouldn't be here. I'm not allowed to look stuff up about this trial. Hence, I am obviously posting anonymously. It could just not be a member of the jury.
I don't know what Reddit is, to be honest. I've never heard of it or used it, so I don't know the extent of. It's almost like this could be like a snowball type of thing. It can start with something that's this small, and then it can snowball out of control into something totally different. I don't know the extent of this website.
You know what would be extremely hilarious if this is actually just some random person? Not even hilarious, just probably likely. Anonymous Brooks juror. What are you going to get out of that? Like, of course, could be anybody. There's no way to confirm or deny whether it is a member of the jury unless they actually go forward and confirm that. But nobody appears to be coming forward. There's no information about anything like that. And of course, the judge is going to be ordering an investigation into that group and getting some more whatever justice for Daryl is. I was looking at that a second ago. If that's the community or what, yeah, it says community right there. Is that justice for Daryl Brooks, as in like positively, like give him justice, free him type of thing? Because if so, I'm throwing my hands up. I give up on America. I would give up on America at that point. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. Montcalm says you can tell that cop behind him agreed with that. With what someone yelled at. Yeah, did he nod? Hold on, let's watch that again. Let's watch that again one more time. One more time right here. Let me get that going.
Intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon. Answer.
This guy right here?
Burn in hell, you piece of shit.
Hey, you are to be removed right now. You will not do that.
I didn't see a nod. A slight nod. Wait, let me watch it all the way.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Daryl E. Brooks.
Oh, let me look a little bit closer. One more time. I gotta make sure I'm not missing anything here.
Using a dangerous weapon. Answer, yes.
Burn in hell, you piece of shit.
Hey, you are to be removed right now.
Okay, wait. I think I saw it ever so slightly on the guy on the left. Just very slight. Very, very, very slight. Very slight. Just like less than an inch. Watch his nose. That's the best way to get
You are
it.
to be removed right now.
Burn in hell, you piece of shit.
Hey, you are to be removed right now. You will not do that.
Or maybe not. I don't know. Either way, I'm sure even if we didn't necessarily see a nod, it's what was going on in his head, frankly. Keep watching, it's coming. Was it at the end there?
We, the jury, find...
Oh, yes. Okay, it is right there. It's right around at the end here. It's just like,
We, the jury, find the defendant, Daryl E.
Yeah, it's extremely slight, but hey, there you go, I think. There you go. Nomad over there on the Rumble building, appreciate it. You take it down too quickly. No, I saw it. I saw it at the end there. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on anything, so I kept scrubbing through it. But either way, I get the message that we're sending here. He's gonna request a mistrial, and it appears they may be investigating to see if it actually is a real juror, but I don't know. Either way, that's your update with what's going on with the whole Daryl Brooks trial. We've got more stories to jump into, including some really juicy stuff coming from Project Veritas about the Mark Kelly Senate campaign in Arizona. But first things first, I want to remind you guys this show is supported by viewers like you. I want to give a huge shout out to our current Hall of Heroes and our Hall of Champions members, but we have instituted a brand new feature on the stream, which is QR codes. I realize that a good amount of y'all are watching on TVs or computers or something, you don't really want to deal with scrolling and finding the description. So it's really easy if you want to support the show, but Super Chat isn't an option. You can actually just use your phone and scan the codes we have at the top right here whenever they're available, and you can donate directly to the stream using each or either one of the options you prefer. So Donor Box or Cash App, both are available for you guys right there. This show is supported by viewers like you. We're not monetized by YouTube or anything at this point. We've been demonetized for over a year. So no ad revenue or anything like that, which isn't really a big deal for me. Less money that goes to them. I'm very happy with that. But if you want to support the show, those options are available in the description, but also for you right there. And you will get your name added. If you want to, you can set yourself as anonymous, but you can get your name added to the Hall of Champions, which is available right there. So shout out to our 4 who have done that so far this month and also in the past as well. If you've been there before and you want to re-up, that's your chance and your ability to do so. We're approaching the end of the month, but obviously if you donate like right at the end, we carry it over to the next month, especially like in the last couple of days. So shout out to our current Hall of Heroes, shout out to our current Hall of Champions, all the folks that have supported the show. Appreciate all y'all. And then last but not least, of course, we are proudly sponsored by MyPillow. So if you want to get out there, support the show, but also get a great night's sleep or something that'll keep you warm in the winter, like the slippers that I've showed you guys too many times, make sure you go to mypillow.com and use code CRUMP. That is code CRUMP for your discount today on sheets, slippers, sandals, which might be the next thing I get, a whole mattress. That is a real good steal right there. Like, somebody's got to get out there and get a mattress sometime soon. How much is that? Yeah, that'll be quite a bit. Like, it's usually up to about $1,000 for a mattress, but using the promo code, you can get that for like $500. That is 50% or so off. An amazing deal, truly an amazing deal. I think whenever I'm out there mattress shopping, I might even have to use my own code. Might have to, because that is a good deal right there. Make sure you go to mypillow.com, use code CRUMP so that you too can get that good deal. These deals might not last forever. You never know with these inflation and the way things go. Even MyPillow will have to raise their prices. So check out those options while you still can and get on in with it, because it's not going to be there forever. Anyways, Agarson says, I placed an order on Sunday. Did you use code CRUMP, Agarson? Did you use code CRUMP? Because if so, you get a round of applause for that one. Let me know if you did or not. Anyways, let's move on to this next story with Mark Kelly. A campaign staffer has been busted. That's right, busted on the campaign trail for admitting to lying to constituents and voters. Saying, well, yeah, Mark Kelly's pro-life. And then when talking to others saying, oh yeah, Mark Kelly is definitely not pro-life. Watch this madness right here. A Mark Kelly campaign staffer is caught on tape admitting that the only way they can win is by lying to the voters.
What if I came
Oof. All right, let's get that down.
across a Republican and they asked me if Mark Kelly is pro-life?
Yes.
Say yes?
I would say Mark Kelly is pro-life, but also pro keeping the government out of our health care. I don't know, something stupid like that.
Even though he's not pro-life.
Oh, absolutely, he's not pro-life. And then I'd go to something like, after his wife was in a shooting, he values life so much. It's just a shame.
Our Project Veritas Action journalists caught up with a paid Mark Kelly campaign staffer.
You weren't a volunteer, you were a paid staffer, right, for Mark Kelly?
Yeah.
They both canvassed neighborhoods together. The staffer says that Senator Kelly is, quote, playing both sides and advises the campaign lie.
Okay. He can't be too far left leaning, otherwise that'll scare away a lot of those independents.
And he needs to get...
And that's 40%. He can't win with just Democrat votes. He has to play both sides. 40% of the people voting are undecided whether or not they're going to vote Republican, Democrat. So he's not going to outright say, all of the very liberal...
Even though you think he's going to
Yeah.
do them anyways.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sure. Well, he's not going to say anything outright about what he's going to do unless it will garner support from independents and some of the moderate Republicans.
Because he needs them?
Well, yeah, he needs them, otherwise he won't win.
Oh, so if he's outright said it, then he wouldn't win.
It would scare people away,
What would you stay away from saying, to get them to vote for Mark Kelly?
As a Republican?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say pro-choice.
Even though he is, right?
Even though he is.
Okay.
The Republican that's running against him, believes that the election was a fraud, that like crazy as far
Conspiracy,
right
yeah.
conspiracy as you can get, yeah. And so it's just like, look at the alternatives, and they're not super beautiful.
Wow. More and more of this information keeps on coming out about these candidates, and more importantly, their staffers. Remember Katie Hobbs? Yeah, she has a twin sister. Twin sister was talking about admitting the fact that they are funding MAGA, ultra MAGA campaigns as a way to undercut the right, because I don't really understand that idea. But each and every one of these people is getting exposed, and it's really hilarious to see. And it keeps on going on. These people are talking about fact checks and election misinformation, and that's actually bringing us to our next story. I want to remind you guys of something we played just yesterday with Ted Cruz. It was insane what was going on. So Ted Cruz went on The View, and as you can expect, it was a big throwdown. But on top of that, he said something that made a really interesting fact check come out. Watch this.
Antifa riots where cities across this country were burning and police cars.
Right there. I actually skipped to the exact perfect part. Let's play it again.
Whoopi, did I miss an entire year of Antifa riots where cities across this country were burning and police cars were being firebombed? I guess you did. Your position is the left doesn't engage in violence, really?
No, they wanted to.
That part right there. That part right there. Ted Cruz said something about Antifa riots happening for an entire year, which is true. Guess what Newsweek did? Ted Cruz's claim that Antifa burnt U.S. cities for a year. Fact check. Uh-oh. Texas Senator Ted Cruz has frequently described left-leaning activists and protesters as violent and dangerous, claiming that his Democratic opponents have embraced this mob violence. A frequent critic of anti-fascist Antifa activists, the senator spoke out on The View this week, deflecting arguments about January 6 violence to claim that it was actually the left that carried out a year of fiery, destructive protests across the U.S. On an episode of The View, yada yada, Ted Cruz claimed that Antifa riots caused cities to burn. Cruz argued how Hillary Clinton had called Donald Trump an illegitimate president, but did not receive the same degree of scrutiny as those claiming the 2020 election was stolen. Whoopi Goldberg then counted, "We may not like when Republicans win, but we don't go and we don't storm." And I brought up the exact same thing when I watched it myself, actually. I was like, yes, you guys do. Not only the Summer of Love, but also in 2017. Cruz responded, "Did I miss an entire year of Antifa riots across this country when things were burning and police cars were being fire burnt? Your position is the left doesn't engage with violence?" While Cruz did not go into further detail about Antifa, the left, and arson, the context suggests he was referring to the protests that followed the death of George Floyd. Marches took place across the U.S. in May and June of 2020 after Floyd was murdered by Minnesota police officer Derek Chauvin. In Minneapolis, where Floyd was killed, more than 1,500 businesses were damaged through a combination of fires and vandalism in the days that followed. There were also reports of fires after Floyd protests in D.C., St. Louis, Kansas City, Oregon, Atlanta, Seattle, and New York City, among others. In Portland, Oregon, protests continued for 100 days. Although not all of these were typified by fires or arson. A report by the New York Times said protests continued in the city for almost a year. This may be the basis for Cruz's claim. However, the article acknowledges that crowd sizes waned in Portland toward Derek Chauvin's conviction. The majority of the Floyd protests, however, took place between late May and early June 2020, where Cruz's claim is that violence carried on across America for an entire year. And this is why he's wrong. No, that's actually what they're saying. They disproved themselves within their own article. The Antifa riots Cruz refers to are almost certainly the protests which followed George Floyd's death. Most of these occurred between late May to early June. Although many buildings were damaged or destroyed by fire during protests, this did not carry on through the year, so that's why it's false. While protests did continue in Portland, Oregon for nearly...
Stop the cap.
Yep.
You can't keep getting away with this. You can't keep getting away with it.
It's like these people aren't even trying anymore. They really are not. It's funny, although many buildings were damaged or destroyed, this did not carry on throughout the year. While protests did continue in Portland for nearly a year. It's in a back-to-back sentence. Back to back. Got the drink and me going back to back. Hey, I'm going back to back. You guys remember that Drake song a few years back? You probably don't, but still. Back to back. According to media reports, these were not all characterized by arson. Most other cities quieted down after June 2020. Labeling the protests as Antifa riots is misleading too, as there is no organization or group known as such. Yeah, because I don't really expect Antifa, I wouldn't expect Al-Qaeda to register for 501c3 status. I wouldn't. And so Antifa, which is a paramilitary domestic terrorist group, would not register with their local county as a 501c3, 501c4, whatever non-profit organization. ISIS didn't do that. They don't register with the local, I guess, you're talking about it, the local governments out there to say, oh yeah, well, here's what we do. Here's where we get our funding from. No, they just pull up on the scene with AKs and RPGs and say, all right, we own this land now. And that's what Antifa did. Do you guys remember when they declared themselves an autonomous country within the city of, what was it? Was it Portland? I think it was Portland. That's where things usually happen. It might have been Seattle. I get them mixed up because they're both on a real crazy path. I'm gonna say it was Portland though. Portland is the one that's more of a Antifa hotspot. Let's just look it up. Chaz zone. Where was that? Capitol Hill occupied protest. It was, it was in No, it was in Seattle. There you go. Fact check. There you go. See, that's the only fact checking you can really do is when I get the wrong city. No, but seriously, Seattle, Washington State. They had their own Capitol Hill Occupy protest or Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. The Chaz. Oh my God, man. It was a beautiful thing. It was hilarious. It is a testament to how strong my point is here. Of course, there is no organization or group known as such, because they're not going to register as anything. That's probably what they're sourcing it from, but there is an organization, and there is a group as such. They just do their thing. They do their thing, and I'd say the comparison between them and Al-Qaeda, ISIS is one of the strongest you can make. Sure, they aren't beheading people in the name of Allah, but they are out here doing some insane things in the name of socialism, in the name of their insane globalist liberal ideology, which is quite similar to a radical religion, like radical Islam. I'd say very, very close. Very, very close. I don't know how these people don't see it. I'm kidding. I definitely know how they see it. They just refuse to. They see it. They just refuse to acknowledge it, which is what I would do, I guess, if I was in there. Susanna says they tried it in Portland, but it was squashed. Ah, yes, that's right. Because you see, Portland's been through that enough times to say, all right, we let them do their thing quite often here, but we will deploy the police and fight back. Seattle was like, well, we don't actually know what to do, so we will acknowledge your zone. We'll deploy some police officers around the perimeter to have your border. They had like a border wall. You guys remember that? They had a border wall. They had like, they had a border patrol going. And the autonomous zone, you couldn't get in there for nothing. You had to have your papers right. It was a merit-based system. I'd say it was pretty dang based, if I do say so myself. Anyways, we've got another fact check to jump into because obviously we talk about one fact check, we got to talk about another. We have from the Associated Press. They're doing a fact check of a story we saw just in the last couple of weeks. Now, to give you guys a refresher on this, I'm going to tell you this is a story that came out in which the CDC was announcing a new vaccine guideline, which would state that if a state would follow these guidelines, it would require students to be vaccinated in order to participate in public school. Now, of course, many people thought, oh, so the CDC is instigating this, or the CDC is instituting this, and yes, but not necessarily. But the Associated Press, just like Newsweek, is trying to hinge on that real small zone that they can weasel themselves into, say, oh yeah, no, it's this and this. So they say fact focus. States, not the CDC, will be setting the school vaccine requirements. A CDC advisory committee on Thursday voted that the agency should update its recommended immunization schedules to add the COVID-19 vaccine, including to the schedule for children. But in the lead up to the vote by the advisory committee, false claims spread widely that it would mean the vaccine will be required to attend school. In reality, the CDC doesn't have the authority to set school immunization requirements, and the vote doesn't mandate the vaccine for school children. Supposedly. That's a decision left to the states. Here are the facts. If the CDC adds the COVID-19 vaccine to the immunization schedule for children, the shots will be mandatory to attend school. The fact is that the false claim gained momentum after it was shared by Fox News host Tucker Carlson. The CDC is about to add the COVID vaccine to the immunization schedule, which would make the vax mandatory for kids to attend school, Carlson tweeted on Tuesday night. The tweet included a segment from his show in which he began by making the same claim. Another popular tweet similarly claimed the CDC's committee vote would make the vaccine mandatory for school registration. But the Public Health Agency doesn't determine school vaccine requirements. States have the authority to enact state laws requiring vaccination, not the CDC. ACIP has no authority to make law. What this article is trying to dissuade you from believing, however, is the truth. Because the truth of the matter is that a lot of the states are going to just rubber stamp whatever the CDC says. The CDC may not have the power to just walk in the states and say, all right, you do this, this, and this, unless the government says it can. But either way, the states, especially states like California and Washington and Oregon and kind of states that are, on that wing of things, are going to just say, well, the CDC says it, so rubber stamp, which may be a big thing in some big states like California, which has millions and millions of people living there and a lot of school children. If California just rubber stamps it and says, all right, it's added to the schedule, it will make Tucker Carlson correct. It will make everybody who said this false claim correct. These states have the power and more than likely will follow through with it. Because why would they not? I mean, everybody's talking about how important the vaccine is to get. Even though Biden said the pandemic is over, he's still out here getting his 5th shot and ignoring questions from the media about anything else, just saying, make sure you get your COVID shot. Get that vaccine in your arm. This is somebody asking him if he has any reaction to the Saudis asking the U.S. not to use the reserves oil they have. Because, well, obviously it's going to have a ripple effect on the world. And what does Biden say to this?
What's your reaction to the Saudis on oil urging the U.S. not to use reserves?
Sir, do you think it was a mistake for New York to...
He waits like 8 seconds and just says, get your COVID shot.
Sir, do you think it was a mistake for New York to...
This isn't leadership. This is not leadership, man. Get your COVID shot. There you go. Oh man, I don't know. What are the odds he comes down with COVID next week? Oh man. Somebody start the timer. When is Biden going to, it's going to be publicly announced Biden has caught COVID again. Everything will be fine. Just, Biden does have COVID again. Calm down. Everything is fine. Just know Biden has COVID again. How long? How long? That's my question. That is my question. We're getting through these stories like rapid fire, so let's move on. Not only did Joe Biden yesterday get his 5th COVID shot and talk to the media many times, urging, once again, to make sure you get your COVID shot, but he is now saying something that's really confusing to me. Now, I'm a frequent traveler. I travel a lot to get places, to go on shows, be out there for events, and do a lot of really interesting things that I'd say are very beneficial. So, I'm quite... I care a lot about legroom and comfort on a plane, I'm that guy. Joe Biden just said that fees on airplanes for extra legroom in front mostly affect people of color.
What are we talking about?
Do I have another what sound effect? I don't think I do.
Because I'm stupid.
There you go. There you go.
You can't keep getting away with it.
What?
You can't keep getting away with it.
What does that even mean, Joe? Tell us.
Decision. Some airlines, if you want 6 more inches between you and the seat in front, you pay more money. But you don't know it until you purchase your ticket. Look, folks, these are junk fees. They're unfair, and they hit marginalized Americans the hardest, especially low-income folks and people of color.
I don't get it. Why is it that every time Joe Biden has to make mention of low-income folks, 9 times out of 10, the next phrase that tumbles out of his mouth is people of color? Now, I've already decried the phrase people of color many, many times, but unfortunately, that's just going to be a thing people use. But just remember, you play a little anagram game, and people of color sure does go back to colored people real fast. Hey, say it if you want. Say it if you want, dude. I'm not one to really get offended by words, but people of color, colored people. Anyways, moving past that, however, why is it that every time He says low-income people. The next word is people of color. It's like in his mind, if you're low income, well, you're probably also people of color. You guys remember when he had a gaffe a couple of years back during the campaign trail when he said poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids? Well, who said the poor kids aren't white kids? I guess in his mind, the poor kid is also a kid of color.
I'm just being honest. And you ain't black.
If you're rich, then
you ain't black.
I guess that's the Biden logic right there. I really want to get some context for this clip. I really am curious. Black people need that extra 6 inches for their legs more than white people, I guess. Total BS. All airlines have extra charges for seats and it has nothing to do with race. Only extra space is emergency exit row and first class. What a pandering, lying, racist fraud. I don't know, man. I am so confused. Why is he even talking about this? Why?
You want 6 more inches between you and the seat in front, you pay more money. But you don't know it until you purchase your ticket.
Why, Joe? Let me go to Joe Biden's Twitter feed real quick. See if I can if I can find anything that'll tell us why he's talking about this. Dr. Oz, yada yada, your vote, Barack Obama, okay, elite few, I don't know, it's not telling me anything. Let me go to the POTUS account. Maybe that'll tell me. I saw some tweet going around, something, I joined my COVID team, yada yada, pump at cost decline, now going into 3rd straight week, and now in every state across the country. That's great. That's great. Okay. Make it clear that it's just wrong. It's illegal. Okay. We're cracking down on hidden junk fees like surprise overdraft and deposit fees, credit card late fees, hidden hotel booking fees. Even those termination charges that stop you from switching cable and internet plans to get a better deal, they add up. We're taking action. The real junk fees are paid by all Americans through rampant inflation and reckless debt spending. Maybe first class is racist. Somebody in the Rumble chat makes a good point right there. AZ Chan says, then first class is really racist. I mean, yeah. I guess if you're riding in first class...
And you ain't black.
Unless you have a...
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
I mean, come on, guys. And you have to make sure that she's 12, because...
She was 12, I was 30, but anyway...
You know, I haven't ridden in first class that many times in my life, but I hope the next time I do, I get a good serving of...
Chocolate chip.
Just so that I can constantly remind myself that,
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
What is that word?
Go, you know the thing.
You know the thing. Wait, no, I got it.
True international effort to pressure.
It's my favorite thing to do. It really, really, really is. It says we're taking action, but frankly, I don't really understand why. Is this the speech he did it in?
Barrel oil, which is considerably down, to the pump, or eat because your
I think
bank
this is it.
is slow in processing other charges.
Okay.
To save all industry.
I want to find the context for this. Let me turn it up.
Hotel, you only disclose.
He didn't have anything behind him when he was saying it, so let me see if I can find a part of his speech where that stuff wasn't on the screen.
Actions to lower the cost of everyday living for American families.
Uh-huh.
Put more money in the pockets of middle income and working class Americans.
Uh-huh.
To hold big corporations accountable. And these steps will immediately start saving Americans collectively billions of dollars in unfair fees.
Billions?
I'm here with the director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Mr. Chopra, as well as the chair of the Federal Trade Commission, Lena Khan.
Let's go back here. It was, what speech was it? What? We go back. It was this. Okay, so it was when there was stuff behind him. Some airlines, if you want 6 or more. Okay, let's go back then. See if we can figure out, what was he talking about? It was this right here.
Across the country, America.
Okay.
Overdraft, have to borrow the money, making it harder for people to pay their bills.
Uh-huh.
So my administration is taking action to eliminate these fees. First,
okay.
Today it's illegal as well. And by the time the bank gets also illegal.
I'm scrolling through
Today's
here real
actions
quick.
are going to save consumers more than $1 billion each year. Millions of dollars and other junk fees across the economy. Never disclosed. Unfair airline fees.
Okay.
Last summer, if your flight was canceled or delayed, only one top airline guaranteed that you could rebook for free. Even because they're the ones that canceled, not you. You didn't fill a show up. They canceled. When Secretary Buttigieg called them out on this, about 10 airlines, now 10 airlines rebook for free. They don't charge the fee. That's progress. The Department of Transportation is working on rules that would require airlines and travel sites to disclose fees up front. Fees like things, if you want to sit next to your young child, well, guess what? Or check your baggage.
So why do you laugh like that after saying young child? Oh my God. Your young child. Well, let me run that back real quick, just so you guys.
10 airlines rebook for free. They don't charge the fee. That's progress. The Department of Transportation is working on rules that would require airlines and travel sites to disclose fees up front. Fees like things, if you want to sit next to your young child.
Why?
Well, guess what? Or check your baggage. Or change your ticket. You're going to be surprised. They're going to charge you for that without telling you. Your ticket's going to cost a heck of a lot more.
No, they tell you.
That's not a Federal Communications Commission. They're working on a rule that would make the same thing for fees that internet companies charge, requiring them to show those costs up front.
Okay, so what about the leg room?
So we're not saying they can't charge it, but you got to let you know they're going to charge it. You can make a decision. Some airlines, if you want 6 more inches between you and the seat in front, you pay more money. But you don't know it until you purchase your ticket. Look, folks, these are junk fees. They're unfair, and they hit marginalized Americans the hardest, especially low-income folks and people of color.
How?
They benefit big corporations, not consumers, not working families. And that changes now. You know, we've been working this for a while.
So there isn't going to be any economic change whatsoever to maybe curb inflation or bring the jet fuel prices and gas prices down so that airlines can begin aggressively pricing their tickets again. Because remember, airlines don't want to charge $100,000 for these tickets unless they absolutely have to. They want to get an aggressive price so that they can encourage you to spend with their airline instead of this one. And that, you know, so you book Delta instead of Southwest or whatever. Whatever they can do to make you book with them specifically, they'll take a little bit of a hit on that bottom line so that they get your money instead of a different airline. Now every airline is having to charge up to the nines because of how terrible things are right now. And instead of doing anything to fix the economy, Biden is like, well, we're gonna give these airlines more regulation so that it is required that they give their fees that are already told to you up front. Because I don't know, man. I really don't get it. I don't get it, man. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't. Anyways, the words Twitter HQ are trending right now because Elon pulled up. We gotta look at some more of these memes. Look, first things first, I want to check if he's tweeted anything since. Because last time I checked, he hadn't tweeted. It's been 2 solid hours since he's tweeted. He's been doing something in the Twitter headquarters over there in wherever Twitter's headquarters. Is it like San Francisco or something like that? Silicon Valley? I don't know. Anyways, the words Twitter headquarters have been trending and people have been going crazy about it. This is some of the biggest news to hit the internet in a long time. I'm so very excited. Twitter employees seeing Elon Musk in Twitter HQ. Yeah, I'd say that's about right. That's about right. Elon enters Twitter HQ with literal sync. Oh, I get it now. I'm so stupid. It's let that sink in. Like, let that sink in. Like, let that sink in. But also, let that sink in. Like, let that sink that he's holding in. He's so corny. So corny. Probably not gonna work here. That's good. That's so very good. I don't know, man. All this stuff has been trending right now because people are so very interested to see what's gonna come from Twitter. Elon Musk. Chief Twit is also trending. Hilarious things. I don't know. Biden's things he said about airlines and people of color and whatever. Will be interesting to see what happens, but you know what? Let's just keep an eye on that. We have something going on right now, actually, that I was about to wrap, but I guess the press briefing has started today. Greg Price is giving us this video. I assume Peter Ducey or so asked Corinne Jean-Pierre any concerns about John Fetterman's health. Oh no. This comes right after John Fetterman's horrendous debate performance last night. Let's see this real quick before we wrap up.
Does the president have any concerns about, has he ever raised,
either
in a conversation with you that you've been a part of or with others here at the White House, Any concerns about his health?
So I'll say this, in personal conversations that the president has had with the lieutenant governor, the president has found him to be impressive, an incredibly bright and talented person who's just as capable as always to carry out his office, the duties of his office, as we know he is lieutenant governor currently, and has great ability and heartfelt concern for the people of the Commonwealth. And that is what the president has observed himself.
Does the president have any concerns?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, man, anybody in comparison to Joe Biden is pretty impressive. I'm gonna be honest. I'd say a 4-year-old might be considered impressive to Joe, although I think Joe might find that 4-year-old impressive for very inappropriate reasons.
Rub my leg down, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
But either way, I mean, it's probably not. This might be another one of the few truths that Jean-Pierre has told. Joe Biden probably thinks John Fetterman is very impressive and incredibly bright and talented. All right. We'll probably plug back in with Kurt and Jean-Pierre another day because I've had enough of her lives for now. Thank you so much to everybody who's been tuned in to another episode of the Chandler Brief. Dark Shadow says, the aliens, man. Got to teach the kids about the aliens. Shout out to Dark Shadow, one of our long time viewers. Also, Agar San, Susanna Donovan, Hip Hop Thinker, all the folks we had in here in the building. Also, to our folks over there on Rumble, appreciate all y'all as well. A-Chan says, boy, is he out of touch. And he's creepy, all of the above. So very true. Shout out to all y'all. Love my Rumble people. Thank you guys so much for being here for another episode. We'll be back again later on tonight for some gaming on Rumble. This time we'll actually be live at 8 p.m. for some Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I know I didn't stream yesterday. Some things came up, but we'll be live again tonight at 8 exclusively over on Rumble. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already for all of that content. And then we'll be back again tomorrow on Thursday at 8 for Crump Live. Once again, we do those shows on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, Mondays and Wednesdays at 4 p.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time each and every week. Stay tuned, stay connected, stay frosty, all the good things that are available to you on our Rumble channel and also our locals community, which you could just find like this, going to chandlercrump.locals.com. You'll see all of our previous streams, including this one, which will be back up there as well, including also other people that post to our locals community. So make sure you check it out by going to chandlercrump.locals.com or hitting the link in the description. And last but not least, if you want to support the show, even if you're watching this rerun, check out our options, both available up here. You can just scan QR code with your phone, so very easy. I'll do it right now just to show it off to you guys. You just take your phone, go into the phone app, and then zoom in on the code you want to scan, and then you click the little button, and it takes you right to our donor box page. Might not be very easy to see, but that gives you a good idea of what it looks like. All that is available for you guys, just scanning it in right up there. Either one works that way. And it'll take you to the various sites, so donor box or Cash App, whichever you're more comfortable with. All that is up to you. Thank you guys so much for your support in the past, in the future, and currently. And aside from all that, I'll catch you next time, free thinkers. Don't forget to spread the virus of intelligence. Peace out. And all y'all have a great afternoon.
Into the light we go.